Hello and welcome to another Turing Dev Talks. My name is Jose and I will be your host for the day. And today on the panel we have Hassan, who is joining us from Pakistan. And Hassan is a software engineer here at Turing with expertise in React.js and Node.js. Also, he's expert when we speak about mobile application development. And today he is here to help us to understand how can we manage offline applications, okay, and how can be better optimize it for mobile application. Let's get started. So first of all, hi Hassan, how are you doing and how is your day doing so far?
Thanks, Joseph, for having me. Yeah, day is going good. So the routine is very good for me. So I start my day with a morning walk, then I do 4 hours of coding, then again a break, and then I join my client in US hours for 4 hours, and we do meetings and make schedule for next day, and that's how routine is going on.
Wonderful. All right. So let's now dive deep into our discussion. Okay, could you please tell us what exactly is offline mode and throw a little light on their development?
Yeah. So offline mode is basically giving an opportunity to our user to see something in case internet is not working, to give opportunity to user to add some record in our, database in case internet is not working. So instead of showing no internet on your device, we can give user opportunity. Okay, you can do these particular actions in the particular application.
Nice. And so, what would be some use case for offline apps?
Jose, I mean, it depends on applications. For example, if we take example of Google Maps, right? Maybe in my area, internet is working perfectly fine, but in after 100 kilometers, the internet is not available. So in that case, what user will do? User have to go to any destination, right? So his own destination. So in that case, Google is providing offline mode where we can download Google Maps so that in case internet is not working, we have routes, we have path, and we can achieve our destination. So that's a one use case. It depends on any other application use case. Like if I take example of maybe some kind of booking app, movie booking app. So we know in cinema, normally a movie, is being shown for a week or a month, right? So that's a kind of static information for a time period. So instead of fetching that information again and again from our server, we can keep that information in our mobile application. In case user don't have internet, user can at least see, okay, these are time schedules and this is static data, movie trailer, or these kind of things. So, I mean, we can define many use cases.
Yeah, that's great. And so I'm pretty much sure that our developers would love to know a little bit more about the process of implementing offline mode in our app. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, so offline mode can be implemented very easily within our application. So first of all, we need a good UI. So for example, if internet is not working, we need to show, okay, so we need to show internet is not working, but you can do these actions. For example, let's take example of, mm, I would say Medium, where I can internet is not working and I want to write a draft article that I will need to publish. So if my application supports offline mode, in that case, I can write an article and even I can publish article, even internet is not working. But when I will hit on publish button, in that case, we need to show a proper UI. Okay, your internet is not working, but once we get internet, we can sync your information with our database or server and we will update you through a notification or anything, right? So UI is very important. We need to show user, okay, so this thing is I mean handled in offline and we need to sync it once we get internet, right? So first point I would say is we need to define proper UI and then we can define feature that can support offline mode or not.
All right, that was great. So, Assam, once you have implemented offline features in our app, okay, how do we test them? Because I'm thinking about testing, okay? Is there any checklist or something to go through to see if everything is working fine?
Testing of offline application is very simple. We just need to turn off internet and we can run our scenarios. So let me give you an example. For example, I'm creating Medium application, right? So in Medium application, let's say internet is not working. Instead of showing no internet screen, I can maybe show some articles that are already been cached. So we can break it in two parts. So most of application are rendering data, like if I talk about Medium from reader perspective, so they will show articles only, right? But if I tell see about from a writer's perspective, in that case we will post data. So so in the same way we need to test both things. So we how we are fetching data from server and how we are caching it, we need to test if internet is not working, what we are doing. And similarly for the writing approach, if we are posting an article and internet is not working, in that case, what we will do, right? So for example, as a reader, if internet is not working, in case we maybe we can cache the most frequent articles in the application. For example, if internet is not working, we can show user those most top frequent articles instead of showing no internet screen. And I can easily test it. For example, how we can do it. If internet is working, in that case, we need to cache our articles, and then I just need to turn off my internet, and I can show. I mean, I need to see those articles in application that are cached. So I have in this way I can test a reading scenario. And for writing, I will post an article in no internet scenario. And then maybe after some time, I can enable internet and see if that article is published in proper way on server of Medium. If it is published, then it means our reading and writing scenarios are working fine. And the most important thing, again, we need to define proper UI UX so that we can show, okay, this thing is synced already. This need to be synced once internet is back.
Yeah, and now I have a clear understanding what offline mode is. And let's now shift our discussion to optimization, okay? So what tips can you provide for our developers regarding optimization?
So application optimization contain many factors. So in case of offline, we can work on optimization too. In case of even if application is online, that those particular factors still valid if application is not working in offline mode. So the first thing that we can see is how our application is consuming memory. I mean, if we are consuming memory in a proper way, like for example, if we are showing only three records on screen instead of loading everything in the RAM, we just need to load those particular three records that are visible on screen. Others should be offloaded from memory, right? So this thing should be this approach is applicable for everything. Like for example, if in our application we are rendering video, in that case, the video that is not visible on screen, we should uh, pause that video player and remove it from memory. And then again, second point would be how we can avoid unnecessary re-renders, right? So I mean, we can in React Native we have a feature we can define memoized component. In memoized component we can define, okay, on if these props are changed, then re-render, otherwise do not. For example, if I take example of Facebook newsfeed, so if I'm scrolling newsfeed and I just liked a feed, a single feed, in that case, all other records should be same, right? The only like count should be increased. Otherwise, all other views on screen should not be re-rendered. And we can achieve it through memoized components. We can define, okay, if this particular node is changed, then only re-render this subcomponent, not the entire screen. So we can avoid re-rendering. I mean, if we can avoid re-rendering, it will save our process. We just need to avoid animation, and during animation we should not perform heavy tasks like API hitting or fetching data. So we just need to define a mechanism. Okay, this task is process consuming. So do this thing first, then do this thing, right?
Gotcha.
And yeah, so third point would be, I mean, it's you have to bear with me. Yeah. The third point would be battery, checking battery, how our application is consuming our battery. I remember I was working on application that was, uh, kind of, I will say, Uber clone for barbers. They can go to client's location. So in that case, basically battery optimization was a major thing because I mean driver was facing a problem like during the way they go to client's location, battery is draining very fast. So in that case, we need to define, okay, how we are hitting our API. A number of we need to reduce number of APIs. We need to reduce real-time connection if battery is consuming. So we need to consider low end devices too. I mean, if we are testing it on newest iPhone and the mobile with 3 to 4 GB of memory, I think that's not the it will
The
work
real case,
in
yeah.
best scenario. Yeah, but in worst case scenario, we need to test our application on low-end devices and see how it is working. I think for iOS we can check on devices, but for Android it is not possible to, test all devices. We have thousands of devices. So in that case, we can run a library like Crashlytics or analytics that can give us, okay, at this point application is performing good, but after this application is slow or crashing at some point. So it will give us insights on that, okay, this particular module is slow and we need to fix it. We need to see how why it is slow. So these are, I think, some factors that we need to check. And again, sorry, I missed some few more
No,
points
that's
related
yeah.
to
No, that's okay. I had
okay.
one more question regarding this. Okay, it's more about testing again. So you
Mhm.
mentioned that you need to test in several devices, or because yeah, to test in iPhone 13 is not the could not be the real scenario, right?
Yeah.
So if we opt for automation, okay, for automated tests. So,
Mhm.
does these tests made on simulators and emulators do the job or not? In that case, we should test the application across on the real device.
Yeah, automated test cases can help us in this thing. And I mean, we can uh, specify simulator resources. I mean, let's say I have automated test cases. So I can run same test case on an iPhone 6. That's the oldest iPhone, I think, right now. And we can run same test case for iPhone 13, right? So automated test cases can help us in this.
Yeah, I got you. And it does just remind me a survey that I come across recently. And by 2024, over 42% of all sales in UK are expected to be supplemented by applications. Okay, this means that app development is set to become a core of element for driving sales, and the application development is the future and also the present, right? So
Oh,
now, Asa, we have talked about implementations, optimizations, development. We also talk about a little bit about the testing, okay? But our discussion will be incomplete without talking about progressive web apps, okay? I've seen this word a lot, to be honest with you, okay? Can you throw some light on progressive web apps for us?
yeah, sure. So progressive web app, I would say it's kind of native application, right? So in progressive web app, so we can say it's a complete native app that can be installed on mobile application. In conceptual terms, so like for example, I have a Twitter progressive web app, PWA. So that PWA will be loaded for the first time in my device, right? In my web browser. And after that, we can just perform simple action. Like if I click on menu button, it will show menu. If I click on some second tab menu, it will move to second tab menu. So it will be just behave like a native application, like that thing is already in our defined way that like we have in native application. So in PWA, we can say in case if where application is not getting internet or that PWA is not getting internet, even in that case, we can show some offline bits in that. So it's very close to offline mode of application like we have in native. So people
Mhm.
are completely relying on PWAs right now.
Interesting. Yeah. And as that said, they know what they have to learn in the upcoming year, right? I recommend you to I recommend them, okay, you all to learn how about to work with offline first, offline mode, and also PWA, okay? And so before my next question, I'd like to call upon our senior developers that are willing to work remotely for company in US, okay? Turing offers jobs in 100 plus technology that you can program with, okay? So if you have 3+ years of experience and are confident with your tech stack, you can head on turing.com/jobs and apply for the job that is suitable for your tech stack. Okay, it could be anything. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider give us a big fat thumbs up for this video. And also comment down below what kind of videos you would like to see in the upcoming videos as well. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe and hit the like button. Okay, going back to you, Hassan. So that has been pretty amazing discussion. Okay, and I think it's time to bring our talk to a close. But before I let you go, I would like to hear from you some tips while making a selection for offline features in our app.
So offline feature selection is I think, simplest process. So it depends on application, the feature we are providing. So most of application we use analytics, right? And from analytics we can get, okay, users are using this particular feature of application uh, 90% more than the other features. So we can maybe give opportunity to user, okay, in case internet is not working, they can post data, and once internet is back, it will be synced. And in that same strategy goes for reading. Like if user is let's say my application is related to movie tickets, and so I want to check upcoming movies in case internet is not working. In that case, I can sync data of upcoming movies, and even if internet is not working, we can show it to user, right? So it completely depends on the application nature, and we can see, okay, user love these features of application and they're using it most of the time, so we can give those particular feature as offline mode.
That was helpful. Okay, thanks a lot, Hassan, and for sharing your experience. And I hope our audience, our developers enjoyed this video as much as I did. Okay, and that is a wrap for our side. Thanks for tuning in. And if you have any questions, any queries, concern, please feel free to drop us an email at support@turing.com. Okay. Let us know in the comment section below what more would like to learn in the upcoming videos. Give us the big fat thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to turing.com on YouTube. Okay, you can follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Clubhouse, and it's still close to us that I pretty much sure that you get what you deserve. Okay, we will be back with many videos such this one for sharing stories, sharing content, sharing amazing developers. Till then, stay safe and click on the link in the description below and apply for your job dream. Okay, as that said, that's a wrap. I hope to see you all again. Take care.